completed its transaction to acquire the Ritz Theater in August of this year, and immediately we entered into an extended amendment with Theater Winter Haven to operate that on the city's behalf. So Mr. Chesnick is going to give you a brief presentation on what is happening in the world of Theater Winter Haven and the Ritz Theater.
Hi, thanks for having me. Waiting for my presentation to come up. Do I do? There we are. I've been in this job now for 9 years and about 2 months, and in the first month that I had this job, I met with then Assistant City Manager Stavers, and he challenged me to make sure that we do so much art in this community that no one ever complains of not having anything to do, and he never wanted to lose a potential resident to Orlando or Tampa because we didn't have an arts focus here in Winter Haven. And so I'm here 9 years later to kind of tell you how it's going, and I'm just going to go through this as quickly as I can as a laundry list with just a couple of points on each slide. We're best known for our main stage, of course. This is what's been happening for 55 years at Theater Winter Haven. The couple points that I want to make about this is, one, our price. The whole season, all of those shows, is a total of $108. It is a value of ours that no member of our community will be excluded from the arts that they can't afford it. So when we are pricing our products, we do the opposite exercise that most people do. Most people try and figure out what the market can bear and then charge that. We try and find the lowest price that we can possibly charge and still say solvent. That is a value that will run through every single thing that I talk through today. And on our main stage, we do 105 performances. When the Fieldhouse got its facelift, the city graciously turned over the old gym to us and challenged us to even bring more art to the community, in which we built the Norman and Linda Small second stage. That runs just like the main stage. We do a number of performances there. We do 46 performances there in this year. That was built in 2002 at a cost of about $130,000 for us. I also want to point out that at the main stage, we also have been investing in making those city facilities better. Last year, we replaced all the seats. That cost about $75,000. We put in new sound at $37,000 and a whole LED wall. So we spent $145,000 on the main stage last year as well, just in capital. We have our Academy Series. This is free to all participants, and it's theater by kids, but it's also important to know that it is for kids. This is where we invite all the schools from Polk County to come and watch shows during a field trip, focusing on those schools that are economically depressed, and so they have access to the theater. We even will pay for transportation to get those folks to the theater so they can see their shows, knowing that they may not be exposed to this on a regular basis. Our Ghostlight Lounge is something we built and opened up following the pandemic. We saw a real need in our community for artists who needed a place to perform. All of our stages are so programmed that we very often couldn't open up little spaces and slots for local artists. The Ghostlight Lounge is for the community. They book those shows in there themselves. They come to us and we just say yes. We've pre-wired it so they can have all the technology of a modern theater, and it is completely free to them to perform in. And also, should they wish to charge for their performance, we go ahead and we donate back to the artist 100% of the performance fee for that. So this is a laboratory for local artists to do whatever it is that they want. We're averaging one show a week there. I want to talk a little bit about the Florida Theater Conference, because this was a huge commitment for us. We used to do 6 shows on the main stage. Now we only do 5 in order to make space for Florida Theater Conference. We just finished that this weekend. We welcomed to Winter Haven 1,600 participants from 56 Florida communities. We hosted 31 plays on our main stage and our small stage in those 3 days. We hosted 67 workshops, and we had over 400 auditions for 39 colleges that were at the complex. We are the only conference that uses every single room in that entire building, both theater side and on the Fieldhouse side. For that, the entire Fieldhouse is a trade show for colleges and arts-related things. There wasn't a hotel to be found in this town all last week. It's a huge economic driver, I know, for the folks over at Visit Central Florida and Polk County. I'm even told Starbucks ran out of coffee. They're mad about it. I got to give them a heads up next year. They've let me know. But I'm sure everybody wants to know what's happening at the Ritz, as that's been the highlight of everything that's been going on. We've moved in August. We took August and much of September to renovate the whole inside. It looks great. So we have some goals there that are very clear and brought to us by you, our city leaders. And the success of the Ritz, it's not going to be measured inside the Ritz. The success of the Ritz will be measured by the economic activity that we drive up and down Main Street and making sure that we are a true economic driver for everything that's happening downtown. In order to do this, we have to give people a reason night after night after night to come downtown and explore what it is that we have to offer and hopefully spill out into the streets and visit the food locations, the bars, the shops, and all of the new and exciting things that will be coming to Winter Haven. Starting out with Tuesday, I'm going to start on Tuesday since it is Tuesday, and I don't know what everybody's doing here because there is a tribute show happening 1 block from here. It's Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. We can fix it though. Come join us next week for Queen or the week after for Elton John or in the beginning of December when we do the Carpenter's Christmas. We have 25 of these scheduled throughout the year. We do 2 shows at 5 and at 8. This is something we brought over from the complex. It's a very successful program and brought it over to the historic Ritz Theater so we could start out with a base. Oops. We are also doing our Variety Wednesday shows. This is to keep in line with the vaudeville history of the Ritz. It could be something different, and it is something different every single Wednesday. This is also dinner and a show. We've done one so far, Andy Gross Comedy Magic, Ventriloquism. He has over 1 billion views on YouTube, and we had a great night. We learned a lot. Some of the ones that are coming up are the Christmas Sock Hop, operas coming to here, and a pentatonics-like group, Hourglass, that'll be happening. And we have, again, 19 of these scheduled throughout the year. On Thursdays, we will be creating a new show that we call Nitro Bingo. We have 22 of these scheduled throughout the year. Nitro Bingo is actual bingo, but it's not your grandma's bingo at the Elks Lodge. It's Nitro Bingo is what we call it. It'll be a high energy with all of the lasers and the lights and the confetti and all that kind of stuff happening every Thursday over there at the Ritz. But then after Thursday, there's Friday, and on Friday, we're going to turn that place into a dance hall every week with different themes. We did our first on November 1st, the day after Halloween, with our Monster Mash dance party. It was a great success. Our next one will be coming up on November 22nd when we're doing a 70s disco there at the Ritz. We hope to see you all there in your bell bottoms. On the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, we are doing themed brunches there at the Ritz. Again, we'll serve food, and there might be a mimosa or 2. We have 58 of those scheduled throughout the year. Coming up soon are A Piece of Woodstock, so it'll be a 60s beatnik brunch, and the Beatles brunch is soon to follow after that. We did our first one a couple weeks ago, or just 1 week ago, it feels like a couple weeks ago, with the Taylor Swift brunch. We had our Swiftie brunch, pretty well attended. We learned a lot. We're adjusting some of our food service and making it great for all of those that come in the future. But that's not all we're doing there at the Ritz. We've moved our professional series. We had done those at the complex for the past 4 or 5 years, and we're now moving that to the Ritz. There's 18 scheduled performances of that. Included in that is Assisted Living, the home for the holidays, about the wacky retirees and a place in a Lake Ashton-ish place called Pelican Roost. Menopause 2, the musical, that is, they're now on a cruise ship and they're cruising through the change, apparently. And the male intellect, an oxymoron. So that'll be showing up there in the spring. And today I got confirmation that we'll be able to bring in Tony and Tina's Wedding, which had a Vegas residency. You may have heard of that. That'll be there for 6 days in February. We do a lot of community events. We have 10 of these scheduled, but they seem to pop up on the calendar every day. Some of these we just did last week, Wine, Chocolate, and Cheese, and then we hosted an after karaoke party for that. We did the State of the City. We hosted on Saturday the Symphony Guild's tribute to Michael Bublé, which was their fundraiser featuring the Theater Winter Haven Big Band. And we're going to be showing the movie Till for Martin Luther King Day. We have special events as well where we kind of try and own the holidays. These will be hard-ticketed events. Coming up, you'll see a New Year's Eve party, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. All of these kinds will be special events. And then we are also making it Theater Winter Haven's living room, where we can all watch community events that we think everybody might be interested in, like oh, you all right? You all right? What happened? I know everybody's sad about this. I probably should just cancel this one. But anyway, the Gators versus the Seminoles, but we're not doing it just where you watch it on the big screen passively. We're going to have our marching band there. So they'll be playing like you're at a live band. We're working on getting some cheerleaders there. We're going to have it a high energy, fun, interactive experience where you can watch the game. And we'll have food, you know, pubs, food and all that kind of stuff. We're also doing it for the Super Bowl and the Oscars and the Tonys and the Kentucky Derby and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to have a series of watch parties there. All told, we are going to have 432 performances with a unique audience between the historic Ritz Theater and Theater Winter Haven this year. It's a lot of entertainment, and that is really the heart of everything we do. However, the heart isn't the most important thing, it's the soul. So what is great for this is it opens up a little bit of capacity over at the complex too, because we moved a few things over. Next year we're going to do something new. We have Patrick Duffy and Linda Pearl, who are going to be moving to Winter Haven for a month to work out a new show that they've been working on, a pre-Broadway run type of a thing on the Norman and Linda Small stage. They're going to stay here for the entire month of October, and we are kind of getting into the professional theater residency type of a business with that. That's really exciting for us, and it will be Theater Winter Haven volunteers and cast who are going to be doing the scenic design for them, the lighting design for them, stage managing the shows and all of that. So it's kind of exciting merge between professional and our amateur theater that we do here. But there is a larger goal. And the larger goal is to serve all members of our community, not just those who have the resources to be able to pay for a ticket, and to serve those communities that are historically disenfranchised. And I'm starting to talk about with the Penguin Project. The Penguin Project is a theater program exclusively for kids with developmental and or physical disabilities. There are only 2 replication sites in the entire state of Florida. This is a national program. We are one of them. We did 101 Dalmatians last year. This year we're doing Seussical the Musical, and we are auditioning now. It's a great program. Each penguin is paired up with one of our own theater kids who work side by side with them throughout this months-long program to get that show up on the stage. I want to introduce Laurentus Smith back there. Where are you, Laurentus? He is our leader of the Bishop and Brothers Marching Warriors. I'm so proud of this program. They are the home team band for Winter Haven basketball. They're the home team band for Winter Haven girls flag football. They are the home team band for Discovery High School's basketball program. They're the home team band for Polk State basketball. You will see them marching in the Christmas parade. You will see them marching in the Martin Luther King parade. They have represented Winter Haven in Charleston, South Carolina, in Kingsport, Tennessee, in Louisville, Kentucky, in St. Pete, in Tallahassee. They've been awarded the best marching band in Polk County for how many years straight, Laurentus? For 3 years straight. Laurentus had been doing this long before we paired up. 6 years ago, we started our relationship together at Theater Winter Haven. He'd been doing it in any parking lot he can find, any grass patch he could find anywhere in this town. And if there is a hero in this community for working with these kids, he's certainly one of them. Similarly, Carlos and Sheena are back there. They run the Unity Elite competition dance program that we do at Theater Winter Haven. They will tell you that what they're doing is changing people's lives, and they're right. But what they also do is become the Sunshine State champions of hip-hop dance. They are the Polk County Grand Champions of hip-hop dance. They were the Bring on the Heat National Champions of hip-hop dance, and they practice at our facility every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They've grown so huge now that they take up 2 whole spaces every time that they're there. And I know you have a competition coming up, right? When is that? December 7th. So we hope that they get crowned again as they go on to compete. I'm really proud of this program as well. The Act 4 players are a group of our senior citizens, a group of senior citizens that go to nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and perform for them, for those folks who are infirm and stuck in those assisted living facilities. We've really built out a huge music program that started with our community choir, but has evolved into our community big band and also our Suzuki strings program. All of these practice at the complex multiple times a week and are really becoming as strong as any of our theater programs, the music stuff that we're starting to do there. Our Veterans Project, we spent 2 years interviewing Polk County veterans from every branch of the service and every theater of war, and then we put together a cast that was made up of both veterans and actors to bring their stories to life. And we've been doing that now for 7 or 8 years. We haven't done it since COVID, but we're anxious to bring that back. That's an important part of everything we do. Our Arts After School program, we partner with the Rec Center across town. And this was through a grant that I wrote for Arts for the Underserved. So we have our team go to the Rec Center and we do arts programs there, but not only arts programs there, we take them on field trips like to Polk Museum of Art, you can see on your screen, and also to Theater Winter Haven programs. Drama Time Live is a program where we go into every single second grade throughout Winter Haven, helping teachers with their reading programs. Specifically, we work on fables along the same track as when they're working on fables, and then we land in the schools and perform the stuff that the kids are already learning. We did that in partnership with the Polk County School Board. Our Homies is our Theater Winter Haven homeschool group. They kind of live there. And we've been doing that now for 13 years. It's kind of like performance school for the arts, but home school for the arts. And then we have our classes as well. Our classes have been going on since the beginning of time, but recently we've started partnering with outside professionals to raise the level of what we are doing. So Broadway Beginnings is one example of that. Broadway Beginnings is led by Elizabeth Burton Lyons. She was a Rockette in New York, and she was on the Elf National Tour, she was in the Wizard of Oz National Tour, and she has her program that operates out of the Theater Winter Haven spaces at the Chain of Lakes complex. And of course, we do summer camp. We have 7 versions of our summer camp. One is Laurentis's band camp, and then 6 different versions of the summer camp that happens throughout the summer there. We welcome each year about 250 kids when you add it all together. And that is what we're doing over there at Theater Winter Haven. Does anybody have any questions? Questions? Yeah.
I'll make a quick comment. Dan, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
All that you do.
Yeah, I don't want to take credit for all this. There's a lot of people that are working on a lot of things, but it is absolutely critical to us that we have our eye on our magnetic north, and that is serving all members of this community and working diligently to make sure that the arts is excluded to no one who is in this community, and we will make sure we do that.
I'll also add, being the commission liaison to the Ritz board over the last several years, they tried and tried and tried, and I mean, just really poured their hearts out into making that thing work. But it seemed like they were always just one step away or just missing that sauce. So I would just like you to take back to your board of directors, thank you on behalf of the commission for lending us the sauce.
I will do that. And I want to say about the Ritz, it's not any individuals that do it, it's the whole infrastructure. You have to have the whole thing built. We haven't cracked the code on that yet, by the way. Our marketing isn't geared, we're a year behind. You know, it takes a year to market anything. I'm going to start selling season 56 in January. And we only had this little tiny window to try and get it going. So we're not at capacity at the Ritz yet, even for the limited things that we are doing. But I'm confident, I feel really good about the direction that we're going in, and I know that we're contributing in a lot of different ways already. I can feel it. So I think we're gonna get there.
I just want to say, Dan, for anybody that doesn't realize, Dan is an absolute rock star, and we owe him an absolute debt of gratitude in this community for what he has done over the last 9 years since he's been here. And not every kid plays football or baseball or basketball. He serves kids that don't do that, and we owe him just such a debt of gratitude for the heart and soul that you pour into each of these children that come in through there, and the adults too, because you serve, seniors just as well. So from this diocese, I thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you do, and from our community, we thank you for all you're doing. And we feel like you're going to make this thing work at the Ritz. We're pulling for you, and anything we can do to help, let us know. So
I will say this, that theater, and especially community theater, is the one place in the world where being different, being weird, marching to the beat of a different drummer is the thing that will make you successful. Very often, the things that will get you bullied in school or in anywhere else are your greatest strengths at a theater. So I would challenge anybody who has a kid, if they need a place to fit in, if they need a friend, I guarantee they will find it in the theater. I guarantee they will find it backstage, on stage, anywhere around there. It's a really great place to grow up. That's why I'm involved. My kids grew up at Theater Winter Haven. I was a theater dad. And when Norm retired, I wanted to preserve it.
Dan, I just want to personally say that you have far exceeded our expectations of what we envisioned or thought could be done with the historic Ritz. And I've been in the building at least a couple times, and every time that I enter the building, I am just impressed with the kind of excitement and enthusiasm that you have injected into that place, and it just really makes you feel proud to know that we've taken a building historically that was not all inclusive. And I mean that there were people that could not enter that building 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that your program, and listening to you tonight talk about inclusion, diversity, that speaks to the entire community. And that's to be commended, because I think what makes Winter Haven unique and a wonderful place to live is that when we recognize all the citizens have a stake. And so I just want to say to you that our hats are off to you for doing an outstanding job. And on a personal note, last night, my daughter, who was part of Theater Winter Haven, opened with the Louis Armstrong story, It's a Wonderful World. And my wife was able to be there for the opening night. And I know that is possible, was possible, because of Theater Winter Haven. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for allowing me to extend the invitation to groups like Laurentis's and Carlos's who are out there working, and we can provide an umbrella to capture all those folks that are doing great things out in the community already.
Just want to say, Dan, you have far exceeded our expectations. I was there when we interviewed you.
Yeah, you were.
And
7 times?
yes, I'm not going to tell that story, but that was a story in itself. But you persevered, and really and truly, I can truthfully say this, that everybody never thought that you could exceed Norman Small.
Thank you.
I can sit here today and say, you've taken that theater to an additional height.
I'm proud to stand on his shoulders.
Want to thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you, Dan. You have us all amazed, and you have us all just, with all the programming and everything, it's so far-reaching, and it's just amazing. I think we're all in awe of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for the time.
All right.
I would just remind the commission that